My name is George Ryan, and I'm running for Town Council in District 3. My wife and I have lived in Amherst for 36 years. We raised our 2 children here, and both were educated in the Amherst school system. I am a retired college teacher. As a resident of Amherst over these last 36 years, I served for 12 years on the board of Pioneer Valley Habitat for Humanity, directly addressing the problem of affordable housing in our area. For 11 years after that, I served on town meeting, and in 2019, I was elected to represent District 3 on the inaugural term of the Amherst Town Council. I'm here today because I would like your vote so that I might return to the Town Council and continue work that I began there almost 5 years ago. Why should you vote for me? Well, first of all, I have 3 years of experience serving on the council. I'm familiar with how town government works. I understand the town budget. I'm familiar with the fiscal constraints within which the town must operate. I know most, if not all, of the key players in Town Hall, and I think it's fair to say that after 3 years of service, I had gained their respect. Second, if I return to the council, I want to focus on areas, what I consider to be areas of government, small government, what I call government with a small g. Roads and sidewalks, consistent and reliable town services, fiscal responsibility, and the direct and regular communication with constituents. When I was on the council, I took the most pleasure from exactly that, providing constituent services, helping people with their problems. Throughout my 3 years on the council, I published a monthly newsletter, District 3 News, to keep constituents up to date and informed. I have continued to publish that newsletter since the 51st edition just went out last week. I consider part of my job as a counselor not just to listen, but also to help people be informed. My priorities in the coming 2 years: well, first, I want to ensure that the town lives within its means. Just because we want something doesn't mean we can afford it. We need to be fiscally responsible. I think we need to put more resources and attention into senior services. Our community is an aging one. We need to pay more attention to the needs of seniors as increasingly they choose to age in place. I found a recent statistic from the fire department quite striking. Individuals over 65 represent 8% of our population, but they account for 41% of patient contacts with the fire department. The student population, on the other hand, is 60% of the total. They account for 24% of contacts with the fire department. Also, when I look at our housing needs, I think we need to look at housing needs across the board. We do a pretty good job, I think, with Big A affordable housing, the kind of housing that the state subsidizes. But what about those in the middle, those for whom there is no state subsidy? What about seniors who'd like to stay in Amherst but can't find a place they can afford to live? There are no easy answers to these questions, but I think it's something we need to seriously look at. And finally, I think we need to promote and support sustainable energy policies and practices. For instance, I support the initiative to have the town contract with a single trash hauler who will provide a full range of curbside services, including composting, at an affordable price. Something good for our pocketbooks, but also for the planet. A brief word about the ballot in November. You will see no incumbents for District 3 on the ballot. That is the result of redistricting that took place after the 2020 census. The current District 3 looks very different from the one that I represented back in 2019. 80% of the voters are new to the district, and no current councilors live within its borders. So over the next month and a half, I will be knocking on the doors of District 3 voters. I'll be there to introduce myself and to hear what you have to say. I take seriously that part of my job. It says that I represent you, and I want to hear what you have to say. So please, if you're home, take a moment and let's talk. And finally, I'd just like to say something about the general political climate in town. I'm optimistic by nature, and I think Amherst's future is a positive one. I believe in politics as the art of the possible, the art of collaboration and compromise, rooted in the assumption that all of us pursue a common good. We may not always agree on how to achieve it, but I don't question the motives and good intentions of those with whom I disagree, no matter how much I disagree. We can and we will disagree, but we need to do so with respect and civility. Thank you.